there's some pretty good teams within that mix. And on the other side of things, Checkmate have only beaten like some poor teams, I would say, or teams that have not performed well. And then they played against Bren and lost 16 to 6. So yeah, it's not one that I'm expecting too much for them from, but I'm hoping we can at least get some good individual plays, because in the last map, pretty much everyone went missing. We didn't see the likes of, for example, Blitz playing particularly well. Hawk went very quiet. Even Rue wasn't there. Our man Techno wasn't managed to do anything either. So I think even on an individual basis, we saw a lot go missing in the last map. So hopefully on Dust 2, they just feel more comfortable.
Yeah, I mean, Rue was a big player for this team when it came to Inferno. He got a lot of team kills. Kaz was just absorbing his bullets all game long. But when it came to Rue, I think he finished 24 kills if you exclude the team kills that came in. And for me, Checkmate, overall, they showed us a much more well-rounded style of Counter-Strike. But as I said, it felt like a lot of the time they were just punishing the mistakes that were being made by Invictus. Now we come into that previous map and we see that Xiao Saga is dominating. He was 7 for 0 in opening duels. You talk about the op battle. There was no battle. It was an execution when it came down to taking those ranged fights on ramp. You look at Flying. He's up there as well. Viva delivering some Deagle headshots straight to their door. And we saw him really warm up towards the second half. I really don't know what you can see in Checkmate to really think that they're favored in this map. I know both of us are obviously going with Invictus. I'm trying to find positives for Checkmate, and it's like just they were uncomfortable on Nuke. But as I said, the performance on Inferno I wouldn't put down to them being necessarily better than Invictus. I think Invictus were so uncomfortable that they punished all the mistakes, which was good. But when those mistakes don't come up, can they then beat Invictus? And I think on Nuke we saw, no, not really. And Dust 2 is going to be the biggest test for them because it's a map that we know that they play a bit at least. But as you said, the results haven't been great. The game versus Bren certainly underlined that. They beat Huatsai. And what's important about this is Huatsai are the worst team in the tournament in that they're 0 for 3. But I think it's important to mention the teams they've played. Beyond, okay, pretty good team. You lose to them, I'll accept that. Checkmate and Sigma. So they still have Tyloo, Tiger, Invictus, Vici. They still have the big boys left to play against, which means at this point, without some massive upset, they are probably going out in last place, or at least going out. So that is a little bit concerning then. You have to discredit some of the results that are there for Checkmate. You can't simply look at their win rate and go, oh, it's a good percentage. Yeah, but also look at the teams that they're beating.
Yeah, I think that's the biggest thing. Other than Tiger, I don't think that, obviously they played okay versus Bren, but even still they had lost that series, and one of the maps was dominant on Train. And I think that's the thing we're learning about Checkmate, is there's a couple of maps they can play to an all right degree. I think Inferno's been one of them, Dust 2's another. The rest of their map pool is trash. And then that's the problem with this squad, is that it seems they're getting Inferno a lot of the time, which is fine. Like, it's their choice. No one's really banning it within this region, as everybody likes to play it. So maybe we'll get to see them face off against Tyloo or something like that on this map. But realistically, their map pool at the moment is not deep enough to face off against a lot of these teams. And I think that will come down to the fact that obviously they do have a stand-in. They haven't got their main player being able to play for this event. And also, this is the biggest tournament they've ever played. So realistically, can we expect them to come in here with a 5 or 6 map pool and just trash some of these opponents? No, they're going to have weaknesses, and some of those are the likes of Train, the likes of Nuke, the maps which are clearly more tactically based and have tougher T-sides for them to play against. And then the maps like Inferno that everybody plays, Dust 2 everybody plays, that's where they're comfortable. So they've definitely got a lot of work to do coming out of this tournament, and within the weeks, that's the one good thing, is that because this tournament runs over a few weeks, 3-4 weeks. It's one of those situations where they do have time to try and correct their issues. Whether they will, that's another thing altogether. And I think they've come in today. They put a lot of prep into Inferno. They look very good on it. They looked awful on Nuke. And Dust 2, it should be another one where they at least look decent. The question is, does Invictus now realize, okay, we can't just play to a lower level. We can't just sort of screw around and win the map, and are going to put more into this? Who knows? They're going to start CT side. Destroyer actually going for a full belt of utility. So an HE purchase, that's going to be chucked into top mid, which, well, it did 23 damage. It's something additional at least, but not quite what I was hoping for with the amount of utility.
With that kind of investment, you definitely do want to be getting a better reward for it in the pistol round, but it's all down to RNG at times, you know? Just going to maximize it across games. Shasage able to find the opening. Looking for a little bit more on long. Bottle, though, what a shot. Shutting down that bomb and another, as this is going to be clean as can be. 3 versus 1. They've got the site locked down. They even flashed it to get another player. Oh, no, not even. I thought they were going to run up the ramp on the back of the flash, but instead it's just kind of thrown out for the sake of it. And Hawk wisely switches to the USP, having gotten the opportunity to pick one up off Shasage's corpse. But he now has to find those headshots to back it up. 14 bullets in total, 12 in the mag. Not really a lot of opportunities to miss shots, and he's already out. He had 3 bullets left when he got killed.
Well, there were 3 players. You never know. The next 3 might have all been headshots.
Well, there was only 1 in the mag, so you'd have to reload as well. I'd be quite surprised.
Decent start for Invictus. No bomb plant as well, so can't expect to see too much of an investment into the next round. No, normally in these... Okay, they forced. Not a fan, particularly. I guess with the amount of SMGs that's being bought up on the other side, it leaves us for some potential. And what I was going to say, even if it was an eco round, is there's normally an opportunity to go for a fast short play. And you can see Viva's waiting, but again, he only has an SMG, so he has to play this relatively passive. Otherwise, there is a good chance he'll just get headshot by the Tech 9s and Deagles running into his position. But there are 2 players on... I think they expect this, if I'm being honest. I think they know this is coming.
I hate the 4 SMGs. I really do. Couldn't disagree with it more. I think even picking up a scout would make more sense on second round. Just to back up those SMGs for the longer range fights, but whatever. The molly up towards the back. Destroyer. Oh, no. He whiffed that. He was trying to kneecap them, but unfortunately in this game, it's not Tarkov. They can still run. They can still make a move into this bomb site, and Flying's about to be overwhelmed, or maybe not. He perfectly dances around this pillar, isolating one fight at a time. Eventually, a Deagle shot finds him. Good tag to Viva, lighting him down to 50 HP, making it much easier for Rue to come on through and finish him off on that Deagle or MP9. Gets Viva. Oh, this is over. They have just lost the force buy. Bottle has to come through with a massive play, and he can't get it done. No, not today. Invictus 1-1, tied up after winning the pistol round. That's disgusting.
I feel like Destroyer is... I say it... I said it in the last map as well. I just don't rate a lot of the plays he makes. Like, they're so all in. It's like that guy that sits down at the table and just shoves all of his chips into the middle without even seeing the card. Like, it's just madness. And a lot of the time it costs them round. And there's other players that do a similar style. Like, for example, Ronan, who we've seen in this tournament quite a bit, who do it better. Like, if they're going to be ludicrous, if they're going to be madmen, they at least get some kills along the way. He seems to have so many rounds where he's just dead. And it's like, oh, sick. Well, why have you done that then? If it doesn't work, why are you attempting it?
And you look, the reality is you're going to make those kind of attempts, and it's not going to work at times. It's not like we're saying you've attempted something that didn't work. Well, why did you attempt it? But it's the frequency to which he tries it, and it's the infrequency to which it works. So it's the... Oh, Techno, you're dead. He's been spotted. Pistols just overwhelm him. Nice kill. AK retrieve, but Destroyer's got to go huge. Finds a tag, going up for a little bit more. Not going to find anything on this. Now they're all already up close and personal. They're going to look to just shut him down, and they do so successfully. Shaosage able to at least find one more, and, well, they've thrown away the weapon they managed to retrieve. That's a bit of a shame. And now it should just be an eco from Invictus, so 2-1 we sit. Tom, quick tip for you, by the way. Whenever you're... I realized this a while ago, right? When you're drinking a big bottle of a fizzy drink, right? Let's say you got a 1.5 or 2 liter bottle. So you're not going to drink it all at once, I hope. If you are, please consult a doctor. You know the way when you open it, it's obviously nice, it's fizzy, and then afterwards, when you go get it the next day or 2 days later, it's going to be quite flat, or to a much greater extent, right? What you should do is squeeze the bottle so that the liquid is right up at the top, and then screw the cap on lightly so it's like, you know, squished in, because it gives less air for the gas to disperse into.
A fizzy drink connoisseur, not me. Next, you're going to be telling me you're an expert on crisps.
What I will say as well, though, is you know the bars called Squares bars? Why are they called square? They're clearly rectangles, right? Rectangular-based cubes, and yet they're called squares.
Doesn't quite roll off the tongue, I guess.
Rectangular-based cubes bar. I think that works. It would work on me more, to be honest.
I don't know. Like, I think it would work on you after, but like if it was your first time buying something, you would look at that and go, "That's stupid."
No, I honestly would respect the commitment towards the correct terminology. If I was walking down in a shop and I saw 2 bars, squares, and rectangular-based cubes, and they're both rectangular-based cubes, I'd go for the correctly named one. Like, you know, I'll give you the benefit of the doubt on this one. So if they know how to name it properly, they probably know the recipe properly. They're obviously sticklers, so maybe it's perfect.
Okay, fast play in. Nice hold again from Beaver and Flying. They lose the sight. They've traded more than evenly. This is what I mean. What is wrong with this man? You have an advantage. Why have you just YOLO pushed into the site? Oh my god. You can take it from here.
Okay. I'm just finishing chewing my rectangular base cuboid. Yeah, this is that was a weird play by Destroyer. I really don't know what he was going for on that one. And look, they're getting traded out one at a time. Oh, if they lost this, Tom would have lost whatever hair was left on his head.
No, I would have been happy.
Oh! They did!
Oh my god.
They didn't have a kit! Oh my word.
What time was on the clock when he tapped it? I thought he had enough time.
7, I think.
Yeah.
But he had no kit, so...
Good.
That is heartbreaking. That is horrible. The fact that they've just thrown that one away. And I 100% agree with you as well on the point of Destroyer. Like, there's been so many rounds. So first of all, I don't think he's uniquely gifted individually. And then his decision-making is terrible as well. Like, there's been so many rounds across, even the previous PAL, where this guy just goes, hey, I'm gonna make this play. And you can do that if you're somebody, but he's not somebody. He hasn't got the individual skill to back up the plays he's making, and so he just gets wrecked.
I think the thing that's infuriating as well is that he's one of the more experienced players. Like, he's 26 years of age, same age as Otto, obviously younger than Zhao Sage, and then you got the 2 youngsters in Viva and Flying who do have the skill to back it up. It's like that sort of guy, aka Banks, who reminisces about when he was younger and still thinks he has that same skill level, and then gets frustrated when the plays don't work as well as they used to. Or maybe guns that were once good and not as once were, you know? Yeah. MP5. But yeah, it just seems questionable. And then rounds like this, please, Checkmate, please don't do this. Oh, it's gone all wrong. This wasn't even a buy round. They just had the 1 saved rifle and some pistols and a scout. And that it's now left onto Rue. He doesn't stand a chance, Mitch. It's happened again.
Deja vu. I don't know the rest of the words to that song. You know the words?
No.
Like,
I'm sure Blair does.
I've seen this.
I bet Blair knows it. He can probably reminisce the whole song. Just recite it.
Yeah, I reckon so.
Weed.
While he's skidding around the streets. He just called them a weed. Oh, God.
Oh, 4-2. Yeah, that's one of those rounds that I think Checkmate are quickly going to want to forget. Luckily, they had built enough money up that Going to be in an all right position here to still continue to buy. Looking like they're going to try and pressure the B site. Nade will go through and do a little bit of damage. Now, the rotation isn't going to be here anytime soon. Flying is just going to try and use some utility to slow them down. And keep off the flashbang. Destroyer does come in to help him. The flashbang works out. Flying, holding the line. How does he stay alive here? Good utility usage to keep him alive, but that's ridiculous. They should have closed him down. Destroyer there to help him this time. A bit more team play coming out from Invictus.
Maybe they've gone for a dinko. They've got their caffeine pills out. They're woken up, ready to go. You know what you have to do when you wake up? Get out of bed. That's the first thing.
Depends who you are.
Depends if you're dinko or not, really, doesn't it?
Yeah.
He's got other priorities. Turning off his alarm clock, obviously, is what we're talking about.
Let's just say, in the morning, he has his hands full.
Hand. Let's not be too generous. So, because yeah, he has one of those alarm clocks you have to pick up, and you have to shake it to turn it off so it knows you're awake. Because you know the ones with the buttons.
No, he's just giving his girlfriend a hug, of course. That's all.
That's a bit rude.
Like rude.
You got his hands full. Sounds like you're making assumptions about the dimensionality.
His arms aren't that big.
Oh, anyways, let's quit talking about. All I know about Dingo's girlfriend is she's a lovely woman. She loves Monster Munch. That's about all I know.
And she's from Poland.
Oh, another point of detail. Black hair as well.
Okay, I didn't know that. You've been hanging outside our window. Oh, okay. Lion, he was trying to hang outside Hawk's window. He's taking control of it. What a transition that was. Never thought I'd be making that one. And he's just been tagged through, and Viva's going to headshot him in the end. Doesn't matter. Invictus are going to equalize the scoreline. Still money available for Checkmate and moving swiftly on. We're going to see whether or not they can actually break back. I think that one round where they lose to all the pistols is going to be the one that potentially breaks them. And we saw that in the last map, a few slip-ups here and there, and it just fell apart from that point. And something, again, we talk about the fact that this team hasn't really played at too many events, or any events at this level at least. So realistically, there is going to be those moments where I don't know if the mentality will be there. They'll have to come back from too many positions. Destroyer. He's throwing down that smoke into the corner. I guess it gives him a little bit of vision over the top. The flashbang is nice, though. Leaves him completely blind as they're going to go past. Nade over the top. I think did 3 damage, and Destroyer eventually, that smoke does come good. So he's still making these sort of plays. I said, like, I'm not a big fan of them, but they work every once in a while. It will come down to a point, though, if you can continue to do it, that he's probably going to get shut down.
Oh, Xiaosage. Okay, that was nice. Viva as well on 1. And Xiaosage wasn't spotted on top of this smoke. That's the key part, but no one's watching long! What's happening here? They've left it completely open. Rue walks out. Hawk able to find 1! They almost lined up. Well, they did line up. They almost gave him the kill on the spray down. That was wild. You got like 5 people looking at short. No one cares about long. That's weird. Oh, man.
Well, we are going to see a technical pause called by Checkmate. A slow start for some of their players. So you have to bear in mind, we spoke about Rue before. He's currently on 12 kills. So he's doing very well, considering we've just had the 9th round. There's a few players, Blitz, Kaz, Techno, really struggling at this point in time. And on the other side of things, you got Bottles showing up, which was something I really wanted to see. I said in the past, we've seen some fantastic games from him on an individual level, but not to a consistent level. And that's the problem with a lot of their players. Like Viva's inconsistent, Bottles inconsistent, Destroyer's insane, and Xiaosage even having a bit of a slower start. I think Flying's been the only one that we can consistently say puts up big numbers, and thus far in this map, hasn't really had to. He held down the B site when it was needed. Bit of a risky peek here behind the back of the Molotov. And, oh, he's a lot closer than he was last time. Okay, I might have just jinxed him. Luckily, the Destroyer is there, and he manages to spray down 2.
He's rushing. Go on, go for it. Oh, he didn't go in while he was blind. That's an improvement. Waited for his teammate. They're gone in together. I like it. Rue, not given as many opportunities. They know where he is. Deagle in hand. He's trying to swing and find a 1v1. And although Bottle goes up on top and kind of gives it to him, it's a surprise angle, one that catches him off guard. And, you know, Tom, I actually spoke with this a while ago. I spoke with Banks about this. Because obviously he used to play, don't know if we want to call it professionally, but he used to play. And one thing that he was mentioning from talking to a lot of pros, and obviously back in his day, back in the 80s, was that sometimes, you know, you see these plays that are unnecessary. I think if you broke them down and said analytically that is the correct or incorrect play, you would come to the conclusion that it's the wrong play. But sometimes you have to make those just on a couple of different things when it comes down to confidence, when it comes down to variance as well. Ooh, Viva. Yeah, that's one that I'm not going to make that justification for. That was weird. He just straight pushes up mid. No support, no one there to kind of flash him out if things got a little bit too froggy for him. That's odd. But yeah, no, it was just basically like, sometimes obviously they'll expect you to do one thing, so you have to do the wrong thing to just get out of their heads, basically. And it was interesting. I think it definitely helps out when you look at some clutch scenarios, but I just wanted to link that in with the point of Destroyer, where you can make the argument that, oh, well, he's doing this because they won't expect it. But if you do it half of the time, they're going to expect it.
We transition into the push as Hawk is going to manage to get another opener. Bottle has caught one more, and he's just continuing his reign of terror. It's left into a 1 versus 1. Hawk has come alive in this round, his 11th kill, and looking for more. 40 seconds on the clock, so he doesn't need to rush, but it doesn't matter. Bottle has been almost flawless so far. 13 and 3, even saves an AWP for his teammate. Well, it has been him alongside Destroyer and Flying who've done the majority of the work. Already 7 rounds on the CT side as well. I'll be honest, I think that's enough. As we sort of mentioned when we saw them play versus Tiger, who definitely don't have the same sort of individual level as we see from Invictus. Checkmate really struggled on that CT side. They did not have a good CT side at all. It was actually their T side where I think it was a 10-5 half in favor of Tiger, and then they managed to bring it back on the T side. So I don't expect much from Checkmate from this point onwards.
So your faith is gone? You don't believe in the boys anymore over on the Checkmate side? You don't think the king is under threat?
Well,
the queen's in position?
Even when they lost, even when they won the first map, I still said I thought Invictus was going to win. So yeah. I don't think I'm going to change my mind now. Now that they've won Nuke, I think they're going to lose.
I'm sad that Rue's name is Rue and not Rook. I think that's a missed opportunity. Although I guess you won't change your name just for a team name, but still, would have been cool.
Yeah, it'd be a bit weird.
Oh my. Maybe it is going to be Checkmate soon, because Rue's moving into position. He's taken 2, picked up an AK. Give it a Blitz. Give it a Blitz. Come on. Blitz is spraying with a CZ. Go and get the AK. Good lad. No, what's happening? Go up tunnel. Oh, don't take that fight. Go get the AK to Blitz. Why is Blitz running away? Go get the AK, Blitz! You're the only player with armor and health. This is crazy. This is madness. Because Rue's got a Deagle, right? That Deagle's pretty much as good to him as the AK is. You maybe get 2 or 3 bullets extra out before you're dead. I don't care about this round. I just want to see that AK in the hands of Blitz. Come on. Oh, he's going back. He's going to get it. Good lad. Good job. Thank you, Rue. Thank you. Good boy. Okay.
Not patronizing at all.
Dude, honestly, the amount of even EU teams, like tier 2 EU teams that I've seen just go like, oh, I'm going to play with the AK on 1 HP and die. It blows my mind. Because people think about it when it comes to the op, right? You'll think, oh, this guy's low, I'll give him the op. But for some reason, occasionally, with AKs, people just don't bother.
Oh dear, Viva's missed a shot. That dink actually only hit him for 3 HP, and he gets the second one. Tech 9 out. He's going to go pushing. He just kills the man who was still partway through planting the bomb. He's going to kill off everyone. Just styling on them at this point. As said, there's been a real step up in an individual basis from a lot of the members of this CT side and more Invictus. They get their 8th, they win the half. Looks like they're going back to retrieve the secondary op as well. And, at the moment, Checkmate looking like they're out of this one. They're going to get a lot of money going into this next round, so that's something. The bomb plant will help them, but realistically, it's only 2 players actually playing for them at the moment.
You know, Tom, at this stage, I have to say, my faith is starting to slowly erode in the Checkmate lineup, making this a close one. It is starting to swing a little bit. Oh, Destroyer. He's got the angle. Rue goes up, and he gets tagged 1 HP. He has survived. If they made that... If somebody had have sanded down the doors today on middle, just stripped away 1 layer of paint, he would be dead.
And not the start they were looking for. Flying, he might be caught transitioning into mid. The flashbang's good, but he's been lost. It's left onto Destroyer and while caught at the back of the site with an AWP. It wasn't going to be happening. CT side probably just going to save their remaining weaponry, even though they've done so much damage. Rue on 1 HP, Hawk on 4. They need to make sure they keep their own economy strong. And although it's pretty good, Destroyer and Xiao Sage have a bit of a weaker purchase coming up. And if they do want to continue playing this double AWP setup, well, they're going to need to save the cash.
It's all about the dollar bills, y'all. And I respect the play to just immediately go in for the save over on the weapons. You know, considering the fact that they've got so much money, you could very easily see them just take this very aggressive approach. But I wonder now, are we going to see a much heavier investment? Are we going to see maybe a double AWP setup come out?
Well, they've already done it once, and considering Destroyer has one in his hands, I would assume yes. To be honest, he was doing much better with the rifle from what we've seen so far, but... that always seems to be a classic thing within Asia that I've seen so far is even if something is working, if there's an option for a double AWP, they're going to go for it. And not really a fan. There's been a team or 2 that have managed to make it work. Destroyer, though, is going to get the opener. No Xbox smoke. There's a reason it's thrown in most rounds of Dust 2, and that is because it allows you to cross onto short very easily. I'm hoping we're not going to have a repeat of the please smoke connector game.
Did they whiff it though? That smoke on the bottom mid. Was that a CT or a T smoke?
I don't know.
I think they might have whiffed it.
Even if they whiffed it though, you can tell the second you go through top mid. So why you were still pushing short?
Yeah, true. He was quite far down, right? He was at the wall, so
yeah, he died in the cross to short. So
because I could give him the respect that if he peeked out and went, oh, it's not there, and got opt. But yeah, if you peek out and go, oh, it's not there. Oh, well. Just go down.
Yeah, just continue going. No. Yeah, so if it was whiffed, then that was just a silly mistake. Speaking of silly mistakes, Bottle, maybe a little bit much pushing out long doors. I think that's where you normally draw the line of how far you're pushing unless they've taken the site. And, well, speaking of taking the site, they're going to get A for free because of it. The other player has now gone... pushing back towards long, won't realize till it's too late. In fact, Viva, buddy, you've gone way too far. You have to know you've given up that control. You have to know. Somehow Xiao Sage has got another kill back, and with every single player confined to the site, a retake's very much possible here. They've taken nothing back. They didn't hold on to short. They've just given it all up. Checkmate are just going to try and fight from the back corner, and that is a very difficult task. Kaz is just about going to survive, and while they're running through a smoke, easy.
The CTs push him one by one. Hurrah. Hurrah. That was an awkward one. Kaz obviously did very well to connect those shots. This has been a pretty rough game for him. Not being team killed in this one, luckily, but himself and Blitz. And Blitz, remember, on Inferno, this guy was entry fragging T side and winning the majority of duels. Like, he was sick when it came down to taking those fights. And again, he's cooled off a lot coming into this map. And it is sad to see all these pieces there for Checkmate, but then on Dust 2 and certainly on Nuke, them just not quite be there. This is one hell of a push by Xiao Sage. The ballsiest play of the game so far. And it's paying off. He's got all the info. Now, does he think they're in long? There's the utility. He knows at this point there's going to be players in there. He'll clear out T-spawn. And the question is, does he just hold the info at this point? I mean, look, the fact that he's pushed up is allowing the rotate to come through from B. Flying's completely leaving that site. And I love this. Look at Shosage. He's just tucked in T-spawn. He's holding the info that they can't fall back. Eventually, he's going to go for the flank on long. But there's going to be 4 players on the A site by the time the Checkmate push in.
Well, they win the trades. It may not matter. Hawk's doing a damn good job. Flying is going to get 2, but the teammates he had with him didn't do too much. Well, Zausage, he's retrieved an orb. Going to go for this one now. Nice shot onto the first. Retrieves his MP9. Yet to find an AK to go alongside it. And unfortunately, that will be his undoing. Blitz is going to bring it back as they get 3 rounds in a row. And although they were close, although Invictus seemed to let them slip, I don't think Checkmate are going to mind. They, however, go into their CT half. And as said, the last time we saw them play, they looked rough.
Yeah, very true. You know, the B-holds have been a thing of issue across this whole tournament, pretty much. The thing is, our Invictus going to be exploiting any issues that Checkmate give. So far, it was looking very one-sided. It was looking like Invictus were going to just walk away with this one, and then they have struggled again. Look at those Asian skins. Every single one of these players looks different. It's a small point, but it's definitely going to cost you rounds. I just don't see why you wouldn't. What, they cost like 20 cents? You can just get the same one. It's a bit wild. It's, as I said, it's just like having the wrong pistol equipped when you come into the game. There's opening shots. Oh, Kaz, Rue, lighten them up, but hold on. Invictus pull it right back into a 3-on-3. They're going to get this bomb planted as well. And oh, ooh, nice shot by Kaz.
And there's a flank coming in as well. They're both facing in one direction. It's going to be too easy for Blitz to clean up. So they're going to equalize things. Strong B hold, quick rotations, and a great job by Kaz to delay. Now for the T's. Should be seeing just some minute investment here. We saw that in the last half. It was a full buy coming in. And actually, we're going to see the same again. I understand it, obviously, when the bomb goes down. And I can understand that, obviously, on this map, especially with plays in towards short, you can do quite a lot. I am surprised, however, that we're going to see a challenge into long.
Okay, so with Checkmate having already pushed all the way up long, gotten that control in the doors, they know that obviously there's nothing there for now, but they have nothing across the map when it comes down to mid. It's very passive. Short as well, same thing. I think they're content with just locking in the control that they've got and hoping they can get either the early flank or obviously just shut them down the straight up duel. So, oh, the nade perfectly landed. Almost every player is lit up by half HP. Nice spray by Blitz as well. And they still have the support in Goose. This round should be done and dusted. No need to wide swing for Kaz, but he goes out. All right. Gives it away now. Oh, maybe not. They didn't notice.
Oh, flying. Get a bomb plant. That's something at least. Switches to the Deeg, and although he does a lot of damage onto Hawk, it's not enough to close him out. So it is going to be the lead kept now for the side of Checkmate, which, considering the streak of rounds that went on for the other side, that is relatively surprising. We were looking at an 8-4 scoreline, and they've now brought it back to 9-8 with the help of the pistol. It is now both CT sides getting the pistol round start, although you do have to remember that it was the force by victory that actually gave the majority of the rounds over to Checkmate. What is this? What? Why? What is this by?
If at first you don't succeed, buy again. That's how it works. I feel like for Invictus, they haven't got the worst in the world, right? They've got the Galils, they've got a Mac 10 and a Scout. It's doable in a very loose sense. You're going to see a push in towards this site. They have smokes for the cross. They can negate the short control that's in play for Checkmate if they can just get this planted. Kaz even going to extend out for this peek. The Scout there, but they trade shots. Unfortunately, Kaz comes ahead in that one, having the superior weapon, but he's caught in the open. Ooh, 7 HP. He's going out for a little bit more, able to survive, and Gandalf, but then Destroyer comes up behind, and he does exactly as his name suggests. Destroys them on short, and puts the man advantage in play for the T side. This buy-up is working out so well! The lineup there, Destroyer on the spray, a 3k in this round. Such a good play by him, and this should now be much easier to hold on to.
Yeah, I don't know how he gets away with so many of these risky plays. I think the Checkmate have done a really bad job of shutting him down, and Root, he's been the saving grace. Bear in mind, he is currently the top fragger in this server. Oh, what has just happened, Blitz? He's run out of ammo. It comes down to the 1 versus 1. Looking for a 24th kill. He's not quite going to manage it. Xiao Sage will just about clutch this out. It's a big round for the side of Invictus, a round where they had a far weaker buy than their opponents, even though it wasn't necessarily a bad one. And because of that, they've absolutely trounced Checkmate's economy. Left with Ruse, the only one who can really buy. And a lot of this just came down to not being aware of short. Like, I don't know how that happens. Like, he just walks up like it's absolutely nothing. Obviously, Kaz in the corner is already very low. And then just aggresses again. And this is what I mean. Like, I feel like a better team... If this was a better team playing against Invictus, Destroyer would have 5 kills. Instead, he has 20.
The punishment definitely not been there. And there's something that we said before, right? That when it came to Inferno, a lot of mistakes were being made by Invictus, but they were being punished by Checkmate. And that was really the big difference. The reason that they were able to carry it across the line. But coming into this one, it's not quite been the same thing. Viva, through the smoke, it must have been just above it. He caught that headshot flying, rushes up short, and again catches a player off guard. Similar to what Destroyer did in the previous round, but oh, Blitz, no! He's missed all the shots. Oh, I thought that was going to be a great kill back and an opportunity for Checkmate, but instead, I almost want to just see them save at this point.
Can I do an opposite of what we normally do to production? Can I ask not to see that again? I don't want to see that in a replay. That was awful. Like, it is the Deagle, so it's forgivable, but still, it's just one of those situations where you just can't afford to miss. 10-9, Invictus again. They've managed to put themselves into the lead off a big round individually, and then, well, just following up. And I think that's been the main bane of Checkmate's life, is just that they put themselves into decent positions, and then they throw it all away with a silly round. And that silly round has come up just moments ago. I asked not to see this again!
Oh, no. You really hate to see it.
Yeah, and I hate to see it twice.
In slow motion as well. In case anyone missed it, you missed all those shots.
You think you guys have got banner, don't you?
Another one. Another one.
I'd like to put forward my resignation from this.
We've got time. We can show it one more time. They're only running out of spawn. Oh. Yeah, you don't want to make any mistakes in this tournament. PGL will throw you under the bus. That is...
Yeah. I think that was more just because I specifically asked not to see it.
Yeah.
But, because they are trolly. But, you know, when I mute my mic in the next game and pretend it's still working, then we'll see who's laughing.
Oh, well. You believe in this round, Checkmate? They've come in with 5 pistols. A real chance. They've got silencers on them. Silencers are expensive. That's the thing that always confused me. I play Escape from Tarkov. I know that those things aren't cheap. Cost more than the guns sometimes. When are you getting for free? You should be able to sell your silencer for utility.
They actually managed to gain quite a lot of space pushing all the way around, but realistically, oh, can they get the gun? Can they get the gun? That's something. That's a small silver lining, although I thought Viva for a second was going to go hunting for it. What? I get why he threw the AWP away. But once they already have the AK, why did you keep going?
Why not? If you're feeling it. Woosah, remember, woosah. Gotta keep yourself calm, cool, and collected. And over on the Checkmate side, that's more relevant than ever. I mean, this is definitely a team that are struggling. We'll see if they're going to be able to answer up on a little bit of confidence they will have picked up in the previous round. They've got themselves a lot of weapons taken away on the IG side, or a couple of them at least. Kept the economy at a medium tempo. All right. The short push, it might just be perfect. Oh, Flying's going to come down in tunnels in just a second. He'll have an angle, and there you go. He shuts down Blitz. Bottle won the fight on top mid, and this is now looking like, yet again, we're going to see Checkmate fall apart. I don't mind the aggression on short, but they needed to find that kill. There was a full mag sprayed into that guy. Flying shut down, bomb dropped, but it goes right into the hands of, who was it? Who's got it? Xiao Sage. There we go. Yeah, I couldn't see it on the UI for a sec, because it's in the middle. Yeah, that's it's unfortunate they managed to drop the bomb and Xiao is like, oh, I got it. All right, see you later.
Yeah, there's a world where it flies in the other direction and drops into middle, and they probably win the round.
You know what the funny thing is? If he actually took longer to kill him, if he actually took, like, if the spray was as bad as it was onto top mid, Flying probably would have turned around, and then when he died, the bomb would have fallen in bottom mid.
Yeah.
Like, that's the thing. Killing him quickly actually cost them that time.
Well, Root this time is just left alone on the B site. He's having a good game, but it just doesn't seem to be enough. I think he'd have to drop about 40 kills for them to get the victory here, and even then, might not be enough. Fever. Oh, he actually expects it. Checks the car. Nice headshot. And, well, that's another round on the board. This is starting to get out of control. As mentioned, like, I am not impressed with what I've seen from the CT side of Checkmate in the matches we've already witnessed. They get themselves the pistol, they get the second round, then they lose to what was some Galils and a Mac 10. And from then onwards, it's pretty much been the Invictus show. There's been a few rounds where they at least did a little bit of damage, but the last couple have been all too easy. We're seeing the players we need to perform on Invictus' side, and Xiao Sage. Timing is going to be enough to start things off through the smoke. Of course, this is a weaker purchase, but one that they're hoping at least will do some damage, and they're just pushing across the map. Nice shot from Hawk at least. But in the meantime, the T's have completely taken control of the B site. Sure, that's a free rifle for Hawk, but in reality, he should just be saving it.
And yeah, I completely agree about the whole saving the rifle. There's no point in really committing towards a round like this. But no. Doesn't look like everyone's in agreement with that, unfortunately.
I can't even understand the logic of that. So you cannot win the round. There's no way. You don't have time. Your opponent's economy is off the charts because they've won 5 rounds in a row now. So even if you killed all of them, they can still buy for this round and the next. But what's the point? Like, there is no value in that at all, other than to potentially pad your own stats, which, I'll be honest, doesn't matter if you're going to lose. And it's not like your money's insane. Like, a few of the players have got, like, around the 5,000 marker, but firstly, an AK is better than an M4. Didn't think I'd have to say that one out loud. And secondly, one of your other players is still a little bit low on cash. Like Blitz didn't have that much money. So, yeah, makes 0 sense, but what's new, really? What's new?
The wild and wacky world of Asian Counter-Strike. Been here before. We've been here for a while. It looks like we're going to be here a bit longer. I mean, at the position we're currently in, Invictus are not in an unwinnable spot, that's for sure, but they're getting wrecked on this long push. Hawks managed to already take down 2. Now they're going to refocus and looking towards the B site. The bomb coming through tunnels. 2 players up the ramp. Rue is hard focused towards it, and he's got support now from Techno. But here's where the play in tunnels can definitely help them out. Destroyer good for 1, but he's got to get a little bit more done. Not able to hit those shots. That buys him a little bit of time to get the rotate up the ramp. Ready to catch him on the cross. Blitz wins it out, and 13-10 we go. But here's the problem, right? You just get a really strong buyout from Invictus yet again, and I don't see Checkmate winning, what is it, another round after this? Maybe 2? So they've got to get to 13-12 before it's actually decently winnable.
Right, it definitely seems to be having a game to remember, at least on an individual level. That was filth. Here we go. Back to long. Back to blasting their way straight out. Now, they have stacked this up. There are 4 players here from the CT side. They are slowly diminishing. The trade's being relatively effective. The Orb has seen it on the edge of the smoke, and Hawk's just going to kill him straight through it. Now, there should have been a reaction, really, from the remaining Ts, and that reaction is to try and make a move in towards this B site, by the looks of it, although they are actually just going to smoke things off. I'm a bit confused as to the plan here. Otto has tried to bait them in, but the bomb in the meantime is heading into the B side. Now, the smart thing to do would have been to try and support his teammate, but instead, he's making a play towards short instead. So this is peculiar. Maybe expecting somebody to be caught moved out of position. Instead, they're just relying on Viva to try and find some sort of pick.
It is definitely a confusing one. And that is
as if you smoke it, your smoke runs out, you dove another one, and you wide peek and you get the kill. That is a joke. There's like obviously a sick shot from Bottle, but there is so much luck in this round for the side of Invictus. Hawk now has to try and clutch this out, and he's going to be bombarded with utility. I cannot believe that that's worked. He's so lucky that Kaz has just whiffed.
Yeah, at the same time, though, that peak was questionable, right? And it's really not the first time that we've seen that. This is disgusting. As Bottle comes through, wins out the round, and we end up in a position now where it seems inevitable that Invictus walk away with this series. We've been waiting a long time to find out who was going to be winning it, and it feels like it's almost a foregone conclusion at this point. It would almost be more impressive if they lost it at this point. I would be more surprised.
Yeah, I have a feeling I know what would be spammed in the chat if they did. Oh, not the best of starts for Hawk. Their battle for long has either taken 4 players or failure. That's it. The only time that they've won it is with that stack. Other than that, it's just been an opener for the T side, and with weaponry already being at a bare minimum, a few SMGs alongside the rifle of Kaz, to lose someone so early is definitely not what Checkmate were hoping for. They've struggled with the CT side so far. They might be caught boosting up, actually. They are. There's 2 in that corner. I think they've both been spotted as well. And for Kaz, there wasn't really a chance. They've gone pushing aggressive. And actually, for Rue, it's not gone too bad. He comes out with 2 off the back of the UMP. But in the end, it's left on to Blitz. Hot flash out, trying to get in the face of the AWPer. But Viva lands a shot while blind. It is 15-10. A little bit too close for comfort. But still, the CT side don't really have much money here. Techno's had by far the worst performance we've seen from him, which is a shame, because he is someone that we've sort of looked at as a young talent within this roster, but he's finally going to miss when it mattered the most. And while for the rest of the squad on the other side, been going fairly well.
Yeah, it definitely has. Invictus have looked clean, and, well, coming into this round, it's not quite as clean and clear-cut as you would hope. Nice kill by Techno to shout Saga, and Viva's left in T-spawn wondering what the hell he should do. It's a 1v3, he's heard running down bottom mid. He checks the angle, but with an op, it ain't too easy to hit those quick flicks. 15 to 11. Good spot for Checkmate to at least be able to shut down Invictus. They've put them into a position where buying up isn't really that easy. And you can see Invictus will be struggling a little bit, having to drop over a couple of weapons. The utility is still going to be light on some players. This could be 15-13 if Checkmate win. They're only 2 full buys away from actually ending up in a position where they can get to overtime. Still, though, 2 full buys up against Invictus from what we've seen so far might be a little bit much to ask.
Yeah, and the thing is as well is they've only won individual buy rounds. They have not strung any rounds together since we saw the pistol in this second half. So they've had a rough one. Rue has been one of the shining lights. So he shoots now. He could get multiple, but he waits for someone to actually get through the smoke. There's a double AWP on this position by the looks of it. Or no, maybe not. It's just Kaz landing the shots. Rue actually not hitting too much since the first one. And eventually he closes it. Bit of a weird setup. It was a double AWP. I was just very confused seeing Rue fire and then not get the kills. But yeah, 15 to 12. A weird time to try and throw in a B rush, but I guess they just expected that their opponents would be thinking the same thing.
Yeah, just get it over and done with, but unfortunately, that ain't the way it goes this time. And so it is just going to be Deagles, you know, the weak buy for Invictus. I want to see what their strategy in a round like this would be. I was thinking maybe we will see a more direct approach, but they're going for a bit of long control, locked out by a molly. Looking to move things down towards bottom mid now, and Kaz is going to fire off the shot. Bottle doesn't swing on it. He waits a minute. He's getting up close. The support is there from top B. They've got this on lockdown, and Bottle's wise to just back away.
Oh, run boost. Blitz just has to stay alive here. Wants to try and deny the plant, but instead decides to face. And that will be the bomb going down. So some extra money at least for Invictus. Can't really see them winning this round, although a double AWP retake's not going to be the easiest thing in the world. Flying, desperately wanting to get that MP9, and well, the trade-off is death, so probably wasn't worth it. And now Bottle has to pull off the most ridiculous clutch you've probably ever seen. And unfortunately, he's not going to hit it. In fact, did he just hit jumping AWP?
I believe he did.
Awesome.
That's one thing that we don't have an emote for in the kill feed. The jumping AWP. Just comes up as an AWP kill. But 15-13, here it is, the full buy for Invictus Gaming, and they need to walk away with this one. You know, things are definitely getting a little bit close, a little bit scary. And with just this round win, I think we more than likely see an overtime come out. So Checkmate, they're on the verge of pulling this one right back. We'll see how things go. Invictus are taking this one nice and slow. They're not looking to go head first into a meat grinder on this one. And you can see for Checkmate, they've got themselves in positions where obviously locking down long with just one player, they can afford to play more mid-centered. So Invictus's mid to B strat that we've seen before will not be easy to execute on this round. More than likely it'll just fall apart, and that is the first time I've ever actually seen that smoke missed, I'll be honest.
That's not ideal, is it? I'd actually like to see them go for a faster play. I think they had the right idea, especially versus the double AWPs. Flashbang's good. Kaz is going to be pressured off the angle. Little bit of counter utility being expended, but ultimately it just slowed them down a bit. A little bit of counter utility expended, although I don't think that smoke is particularly good. Unless it's intentional, which I have a feeling it's not.
No, it does seem a little bit like a waste of util for sure. 30 seconds left. Molly goes through. That's going to delay them. And in fact, Invictus... Oh, they're pushing through on the back of it. Kaz thinks it's going to be a mid-play. Thinks they've dropped off. How did he hit that shot? That was scoped in as well. He's now going up for the mid-control. Lighting up, flying to 31. This is huge. For 15 seconds, they've got to rush into this site. Rue able to get another kill. 10 seconds. Time to plant that bomb. It's still on the ramp. It's over. 6 seconds left. They have no time left. And Checkmate have won this round. What an absolute disaster by Invictus. What a shot by Kaz as well. When they dropped down, I can't believe he hit that.
Guys definitely play some interesting Counter-Strike. I really want to know how he gets this kill.
Oh my god.
Ooh, okay.
That's disgusting.
Reaction shot.
Here's full speed. Watch this. Oh my god. So quick. He just heard the player drop and immediately realized what he needed to do. Gorgeous.
Invictus taking a tactical pause. They've really struggled versus a double AWP, and if you look at the kills now, Destroyer and the Rue have both hit their 30 bomb in regulation. In fact, both also have 22 deaths. The assists go in the favor of Destroyer slightly, though. But yeah, we've seen some fantastic individual performances. On the other side, Techno still having a bit of a rough game. Won't matter if they manage to get this to OT. They'll have the chance to upset one of the giants from China. Well, in this round, the T's actually have a fairly questionable buy. Hawk going to be getting aggressive around this smoke. He doesn't really need to be the aggressor in a lot of these rounds, considering that they do have a double AWP setup. It's somewhat unnecessary. Like, in terms of pick play, you're probably going to be winning that one. Flying, actually going to take a real chunk of damage from that Molotov, giving away his position. Seems like they're going to try and set up what little utility they have to smoke in towards middle. Bear in mind, they only have a single smoke left, so if they don't make any sort of play off this, that is just a completely wasted nade. And by the looks of it, they are going to do absolutely nothing with that mid smoke.
They are going to do something with these long smokes. Great flash. Pulls Hawk off the angle. He's flashing up, but they're already on him. Good opening by Invictus. Good spray by Blitz, but he's caught out on short. And all the kills go towards Invictus. They are now in a 5 versus 2. They've taken it the full distance. All the rounds, all the maps. But it's looking like they might actually be able to deny OT. Checkmate trying to get back into this one. But what can they do, Tom?
I think it's more what Invictus can do. They would have to make some serious slip-ups, maybe like running into the open. Okay, that's interesting. Techno's been handed one. 20 seconds left, though. Surely there's nothing they can do, and Flying is going to put an end to this. A close shave for Invictus. I honestly thought when they got that streak of rounds on the CT side, it was over.